Hello there, Shortcuts. This is video 2 for June 12th, Wednesday, June 12th. This playlist is new wave. This is pop. This is psychedelic pop. And this is classic rock. So there you go. And some interesting little things here for you all. So for those of you who aren't a member of the mailing list, the price list for all of these records are all on sale. Will go out at Wednesday, Sydney time, Australia, 9 p.m. You just need to send me an email, shortcutsrecords@gmail.com. All right, let's get into it. I've got a couple of bundles to start off. There's a couple of things that I'm doing that are a little bit special. All right, here's the first bundle. This is the Japanese first press of Depeche Mode's Some Great Reward. And this is the box set of the singles that came from this record. There were 6 singles released, and all 6 are in this box set. So you have People Are People, you have a special edition that was only released for the box set. You've got Master and Servant. You've got Blasphemous Rumors and Somebody, the double A side. So those are all present and correct. So 6 12 inches that came off the back of Depeche Mode's 4th album. There's poster that comes with the box set as well. Let me just fold this out. There you go. So, box set of the singles and the record itself. Now, the Japanese first press of this, where did I put it? Is really, really nice. Synth pop, new wave, whatever you want to call it. The Japanese pressings of these records are stellar. They sound incredible. And this, I like early Depeche Mode, but this I think is the record where Dave Gahan found his voice. His singing on this record is spectacular. On songs like Somebody, which is effectively like a Frank Sinatra style torch ballad with smoky nightclub backing sounds, but then great singles, Blasphemous Rumors, Master and Servant, were both on side 2, which is an interesting kind of spacing on this record, and People Are People on side 1. Just a really beautiful thing, fantastic condition. Depeche Mode, a little special Depeche Mode bundle. Now, let me give you a little bit more info on some of the 12 inches. So People Are People, so that the mixes, so quite often on the 12 inch you will get an extended version of the song, and then various mixes on the back. So you get mixes by Adrian Sherwood, some dub mixes as well. I remember playing through this. Now, as you get the later 12 inches, you start to get the live tracks. So you get Blasphemous Rumors live, Somebody live, 2 Minute Warning live, Ice Machine live, Everything Counts live, which is probably my favorite Depeche Mode song. So effectively, the 2 last EPs that supported Blasphemous Rumors are almost like a mini live album. And at the time, they weren't quite the drama and sturm and drung that you get now, but they were really cool. And so it's just a beautiful thing. These are all sold out. This is they were all numbered. This is 2343. I think there were 3,000 of these. I'm not quite sure. It's in perfect condition. There's the little hype sticker at the top. 6 12-inch singles, faithfully reproduced from original artwork and audio masters. Original and special editions. So the special editions are all collated here as well. Includes the original marketing poster, which I already showed you. So that's the first bundle. Now the second bundle is also from the 80s. This is really cool. This is a bundle of Madonna's Like a Prayer with the UK 12-inch of my favourite song from this record, which was Cherish. Now, Cherish is just to my ears one of the most perfect pop songs ever written. And on the 12-inch, you get the whole of side A as an extended version of Cherish, and that really plays on its kind of, I guess, 50s throwback style. I hear, the Supremes and others. There's the backside. Yeah, it's in beautiful condition. I recently picked up a massive collection of Madonna records. I'm making my way through them. 12 inches, picture discs, rare Madonna, like rare first presses of Bedtime Stories, the first press of Ray of Light, the first press of Immaculate Conception, and just about every 12-inch and picture disc you could ever want. And it's just a beautiful copy of one of the iconic records of the 80s and one of the great singles of the 80s. So there's bundle number 2. I hope you like that. Now, I just snuck this in just because Björk has always intrigued me, and her most recent records I think are amongst her best. But the singles aren't getting the traction that they used to have. Now this single, Blissing Me, the second song on Utopia, this is the Vinyl Me Please exclusive 12-inch with a mix by Serpent with Feet, a kind of aqua-colored vinyl. Just a really beautiful little thing. If you're a Björk fan, this is still sealed. I didn't want to open it. I just thought there'd be somebody out there who might really love something like that. And those singles from Utopia were really, I love the harp sounds, and she doesn't sound quite as alien as she can sound. I love them. Really, really, really nice things. Now, I've got a run of 70s records now, starting. If you think that Madonna and Michael Jackson fought it out with Prince for the iconic pop of the 80s, this is the record that Michael Jackson released maybe before it all took off. So this is the record he made just before Off the Wall. It's called Forever Michael. This is the Japanese white label promo in beautiful condition. Now, what's fun about this is whoever owned this back in the day when Michael Jackson, I think he was 15 or 16 when he made this record. It got really good reviews. But the person who owned it did this. They took some photographs, 6x4-inch, I think that's what they are, looks like it, photographs of the record. They must have been delighted with the fact that they had a white label promo. So they took pictures of it. And I think these are the pictures that are on the Discogs entry for this record. So that is one of the few Japanese first press white label promos of Forever Michael with some little mementos. How cool is that? Right. Oh, now for something completely different. This is 1970. And this is the Japanese first press of somewhat of a lost Bee Gees record. This is Cucumber Castle. Now, the first thing you'll notice is that there are only 2 Bee Gees. And that is because Robin had fallen out with the 2 buddies. Was it Robin? I can't remember. The one who sings falsetto. The one who's not here. That guy fell out with the other brothers and didn't join this. You can see it's a first press because it has the track titles in Japanese. And it has this kind of kind of, I don't know, aquamarine inner with all the lyrics. So I played this earlier because my wife saw it and said, "Oh, I'll play that. What does it sound like?" And you know what it sounds like? To me, it sounds like the Bee Gees went Burt Bacharach. It's really kind of production, almost like symphonic pop. Quite a lot of Phil Spector sounds in there. And I think, this guy here, he's the main guy. He's on fire in this record. What a bizarre sleeve too. What an odd band the Bee Gees were. This is Cucumber Castle by the Bee Gees. There you go. Maybe someone out there can educate me a bit more about that record because it's pretty new to me. Now, this is a record I know really well. I guess Tom Petty's debut, Damn the Torpedoes, is, you might even say it's kind of overplayed by now. It's kind of overly familiar. It's great. Of course it is. But the second record that the Heartbreakers made with Tom Petty, you're going to get it. This second record is the exact opposite. It is undervalued and it's great. I've talked on previous videos of the challenge of a band producing a second album when they've had a lifetime to write the first and then they have to write the second in a few months. But this one, it's not quite as good as the first and third. But because you're not overly familiar with it, because you don't know it inside out, when you find the golden moments, they're great. I love this record. Somebody out there will absolutely love that. I'm going to continue on this 70s pile. We've got some Shortcuts royalty now. These are records that have stood the test of time. They're mine and a bunch of you have given me feedback. They're just great records. This is T-Rex's Electric Warrior. Now this is a press that I've never seen or heard before. I played it earlier and I think it sounds great. It is a US press from, I think, the early 80s. And look at that centerpiece. Look at that. It's spectacular. And it's proper hard cardboard too. So almost looks Japanese, feels Japanese. It sounds quite different to the Japanese pressing though. To my ears, it's more full, it's more bassy, which might be, I guess, a symptom of the kind of American mixing style at that time, which kind of aligned itself more to the British than the Japanese kind of sound EQ. So it's beautiful. Look at that spine. It's just a really, really nice, lovely thing. Highly surprised by how nice that is. Who'd have thunk it? And obviously Electric Warrior, I think one of the best albums of the 70s. Just a blues meets disco meets kind of glam and meets quirk, because Mark Bolan was a thoughtful and interesting person. It really comes across in that record. All right, we're going to go into the 60s before veering back into the 80s. And this 60s record is a pretty special one. This is the debut album by the Small Faces. Now, the Small Faces, Ronnie Lane and Steve Marriott. This is a mono pressing. It's a white label promo. Japanese white label promo. What a beautiful thing. Now, when you listen to this record, what will become clear to you very quickly is just how influential the Small Faces were. Obviously, they went on to become the Faces, and Ronnie Lane kind of became a lauded figure. Steve Marriott too, and Rod Stewart joined the Faces, and But in the mid-60s, this is 66, they were contemporaries, of course, with the Stones, the Who, the Beatles, and they were wonderful. Now, this debut album has songs like Sha La 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 Lee, um, What You Gonna Do About It? What You Gonna Do About It? Just a really cool band. The second track, Come On Children, if I didn't know it wasn't The Who, I would think it was. I mean, Keith Moon definitely heard this record, but another band heard it big time, and that's Led Zeppelin. And the song on here, You Need Lovin', track 3 of side 2, Led Zeppelin absolutely ripped it off for A Whole Lot of Love. 100%. The vocal intonation, the melody. The only thing that wasn't already there is probably Jimmy Page's chugging kind of riff, and of course the hypersexual breakdown. But everything about Led Zeppelin's Whole Lot of Love is on this record from 1966. You Need Lovin', track 3 of side 2. It's a beautiful thing. I love that record, and what a special pressing that I found. It's really, really good. It's not cheap, but it's pretty special. All right, I'm going to just detour to the 80s now to talk about a record that a dear friend of mine introduced me to. And I've been to see this band live with this person, and it's not unusual for us to kind of catch up and listen to this. This is Infected by the look at that sleeve, just awesome, and the back is great as well. I believe this is their second album, and it has three classic 80s songs on it. Out of the Blue, Heartland, and Sweet Bird of Truth. Now, you could make an argument that Angels of Deception deserves to be on there too. Matt Johnson, the kind of a bit of a genius, I think. Songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, does everything. I think he produces it. All music and lyrics by Matt Johnson. A couple of 80s legends appear on this record too. So Nana Cherry, she appears in there. The drum sound is very 80s, but because the production is so dense and dirty and kind of squalid, it doesn't age. It hasn't aged the way that some other 80s records have. In fact, I think it sounds more modern. It's really odd. It's a dark listen. It's a if you stick on side 1 and sit back with a beer and listen to it with a mate, whatever, you will furrow your brow and you'll be like, wow, it's a heavy record, and therefore one really worth your time. Really, really, really good record. The Infected. Now I'm just going to leaven things a little bit, sweeten it after the heaviness of the just a record that is lots of people love, and I agree. It's Fleetwood Mac's greatest hits. I mean, it's a bit of a cliche. Just Rhiannon, Don't Stop, Go Your Own Way, Everywhere, Gypsy, Say You Love Me, Dreams, Little Lies, Sarah, Tusk, No Questions Asked. I mean, it's ridiculous. Anyway, if you don't have a copy, that's a very, 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 very nice copy. And I have a couple of 80s records just to finish this. The Works, Queen. This is hard to find. Surprisingly difficult. I guess you're getting somewhat toward the CD era. But Radio Gaga, It's a Kind of Magic, Hammer to Fall, some of their biggest 80s hits on The Works. And then I just picked a record, a quirky little one to finish this because I really like it. An Oral Sculpture by the Stranglers. Now the Stranglers, with Rattus Nervegicus and others, have this very fuzzy punk sound. But by the time they got to this record, which is mid-80s, they were writing high quality pop songs, and it suits them. They sound really good. It is it's a really lovely thing. And they had a big hit with a song off this record called Skin Deep, which maybe won't even recognize as the Stranglers, but they always had it in them. I mean, even Golden Brown is you know, it's a beautiful melody hidden in between that kind of quirky, um, I don't know, overly sensual sound, and I don't know. It's the Stranglers are a really interesting band. Now, why they decided to take pictures of everyone's ears, I guess, is to do with your aural sculpture. The name of the album is your ear. I guess it's a typically Stranglerian ideal, but yeah, it's a lovely thing, and it's got the inner with the lyrics and everything you need. Lovely condition. So there's a wide and wonderful list. Couple of white label promos from Michael Jackson in the Small Faces, interspersed with some big bundles from Depeche Mode and Madonna. The 80s dominated this list. I hope you liked it. I'd love feedback, of course, if you made it this far. Hope there was something that you enjoyed. And yeah, that's the list. If you want to see the price list, it'll come out 9 p.m. on Wednesday, Sydney time. Send me an email, shortcutsrecordsaus@gmail.com. Thank you all. Bye.